Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Metal Men DC Universe issue number 1 comic review. Now, as you know, the Metal Men were created by Will Magnus, and the Metal Men have the ability to change shape, forms, and have appeared in Batman Brave and the Bold, Justice League Gods and Monsters, and so many things. And the cover has the Metal Men posing with Will Magnus smoking his pipe. It starts off how Will Magnus is talking to someone saying, "I'm glad you're here. Simply put, you're the only one I can talk to. The only one I can trust." And talks about the Metal Men and everything, and even talks about his successes and his creation, the Metal Men. And points about how they were first created, and how he went on adventures with them and did things that he thought he couldn't really do due to his success in that. And throughout it, these are meant to be references to the old Silver Age stuff. And we see how Magnus talks about the awards he had, the achievements, and the response meter, which of course he destroys and says, "I wish I never built the damn thing," showing his regret. And talks to an unknown Metal Man who's just lifeless. So we're shown at the outside of Stanver that, keep in mind, due to the events of Metals and the Dark Multiverse, left it in a smoldering pile of rubble. So of course Dr. Kyleburn shows up with one of the construction workers, points out they found some weird metal inside the crater which melted the support beam of a working site. And so pretty much Kyleburn says, "I'm glad you did. I had a chance to review your subscriptions during my flight. This is amazing discovery." And points out that it's a special kind of nth metal, and of course she's going to need help. So Will Magnus does talk about the response meter and how it played a key effect to the Metal Men. And even points out about the Unnameable, where every time the Metal Men find out something about them. And of course, Gold found out, Will isn't fazed about it, but of course brings him along to show the other Metal Men. And so, being forced under threat, decides to show them. And finds out to their horror that there were other versions of them, and leaving them shocked and appalled at what just happened. So of course Will points out that these were more kind of like empty shells, and that these were their previous bodies. So of course he points out the response meter isn't really giving them emotions, just one's based on his. And of course Gold says, "Lies! More lies!" And of course Gold doesn't take it too well, as he thinks that he's not made of gold. But he says that their metal is like a fake coating, and they can't really afford gold and platinum. So of course, he does recognise the emotions and decides to shut them down. And sort of leaving them offline, and says, "I need to start over. I'm sorry, Tina. I wish there was another way." And decides on what to do with the Metal Men. So of course, Will Magnus gets a message from Dr. Kyleburn, says about a weird metal calling his name, and that he needs the Metal Men to help sort the problem out. So of course, Will Magnus takes this in joy, as he realises this is a big opportunity for him, and decides to rebuild the team from scratch. And yeah, this is the story. So issue 1 isn't too bad. Again, I like the idea that it's trying to be a bit more realistic with the Metal Men. And keep in mind, since the New 52 had a teenage Will Magnus, this sort of implies that that was a different Will Magnus, and this is the true one who may have stole some of Will Magnus' old designs. And I would say that the newer origin does work, as sometimes not every scientist has a big discovery that is always going to work out for them. So I think it deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.